Hey everyone, hey, check this out. Coming up, just about a week and a half away, the World Economic Forum is meeting again. And this is what it's coming down to. They want to implement 5 new systems to bring about their world government, this global system, 5 new ones. And we're going to be looking at each one of those 5 here in just a minute. And by the way, this is just a reminder. I want to, before we go there, just a reminder real quick to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. If you like the material that we have here, please subscribe to it and share it with others too. And also, we were knocked off by Google for the last week. You probably noticed that. I can't say too much about it here, but we were live on the app, and many of you enjoyed that, and that was great, so we were able to continue. It's just a reminder with what happened. Hey, if you haven't downloaded the app, it is absolutely free. It's available on Droid. It's also available on Apple. Our new website is going to be launched here probably within the next week or so. And all the live streams will be available there too. All the videos will be available there. Some other changes you're going to see coming up. They're all good. But again, if you like this, please subscribe to it. We would really appreciate it, and share it too. It's free to do all of those things. But let's look at these 5 plans that these people have for their global agenda, to bring about their global government, and why these things are actually lining up with what the Bible says. So here's the first one they want to deal with. This is the World Economic Forum meeting January 16 through January 20 of this year, just a week and a half away, right? 2 weeks away. A new system to deal with the energy and the food crises. Now, I believe it's the food crisis that they created, but check out this article from Yahoo News. Food shortages may get even worse in 2023. If you were hoping the new year would mark a renewed era of abundance for the U.S. food system, we have some bad news. The various food shortages that define the last 12 months, butter, baby formula, eggs, are not only expected to continue, but experts are also predicting that they could even get worse in 2023, along with many other predictions. Now, why is this of interest? Well, they want to develop a new system to deal with the energy and food crises. And yet Jesus also warned us that in the last days, what would happen? There'd be famines in various places. We know that also from Revelation chapter 6. This is just one of the signs for what is coming. I believe it's a food shortage that has been manufactured to bring about this global system. In fact, when you look at all 5 of these, you go, okay, they're using this to bring a global system? You better believe they are. Number 2, they want a new system to deal with, get this, high inflation, which they brought, low growth, and a bad economy. So this is talking about specifically as talking about regarding the economy and where things are going with the economy. Here's this article: doom cycle of default, fraud, and contagion could give way to crypto spring. We hear all the talk about bringing in this CBDC, central bank digital currency. We saw what happened with FTX. We can see, listen, it's just a matter of time. These governments, they're going to go after the Bitcoins because they can't control them. And they want to do this, and they want to bring about their global economic system. We know this from Revelation chapter 13, where no one can buy or sell unless they receive the mark of the beast and worship his image, the Antichrist, or the image of the Antichrist. So we see all of these things developing. So what's number 2? It is a new system to deal with high inflation, low growth, and a bad economy. So another new system because of the food crisis, a new system because of the economic crisis. Number 3, a new system based on, get this, the use of technology. Gee, what a coinky dink. Again, the technology of Revelation chapter 13, the mark of the beast, it's got to be there where the databases are there, the controlling system. Everybody's got to be in a database. Hence, you have digital currencies. But what else regarding technology? Well, think of this. You've all know Harari, right? You all have heard of him by now, certainly. Just some of his statements. He said, for example, history began when humans invented gods, and it will end when humans become gods. But even going on beyond that, when you start looking at him and his thoughts regarding technology. Now, you've all know Harari. He's this major guy with the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, making sure the right narrative is out there. He's kind of like the Joseph Goebbels of Hitler. He's the spokesman. He's making sure the message is conveyed. And you've all know Harari is the one that is conveying the message. Get this. Listen to what he said. These are quotes. Humans are now hackable animals, no longer subject to the intelligent design of some fictional god above the clouds, but our intelligent design. He says even more. He says this. Soon, he says, some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all people. So when you start looking at this, the new thoughts, again, number 3 on the list, what is it? A new system based on the use of technology. What else does Harari say? This is not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the design of our clouds, the IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud. Wow, very interesting. You start looking at this, a lot more coming from these guys. But again, what do we have? A new system to deal with the food crisis and energy crisis. We keep hearing about the problems with oil and gas, electricity, and electricity is not going to solve things. Listen, we don't have the power grid for more electrical things, like more electrical vehicles and things like that. It's just insane. In fact, these EVs don't even work when it gets too cold. They don't work when it gets too hot. Okay, so a new system to deal with the food crisis and energy crisis, a new system to deal with the economic problems, a new system based on the use of technology. Get this, a new system to deal with social issues. Social issues, well, this is really interesting, isn't it? To deal with social issues. Listen to this. In war for control of humanity, thoughts and emotions are the battlefield, says Dr. Robert Malone. Well, that's rather intriguing. And then coming out of California, listen to this. 5 new laws being implemented. California is now a sanctuary state for transgender kids. Also, decriminalizing jaywalking because of racism. So social issues, right? This is what this is really about. This is about gaslighting people. They know you shouldn't be jaywalking, but what's this going to do? It's going to get people ticked off. When you have people in the middle of the street, you have carjacking increasing. You can't do anything about it. Transgender kids, everybody knows this is wrong. Everybody with a brain knows it is. This is evil, what is happening to kids. But they don't care if they're going to use the kids as a ploy to gaslight you to cause this civil unrest. That's what they want to do. Another one, decriminalizing loitering for prostitution. You know, you look at this and you go, man, so what is this all about? So you have this social problem. Well, you're part of the problem. Check this one out. You ready? Time magazine declares that exercise is white supremacy. I mean, you start looking at this and you realize this is what they are doing. They're out to really just twist us and get us all ticked off. Why they want to implement their social agenda, what for? It's this global system that they're going to bring us into. And you ready? So number 1, a new system for the energy and food crisis. Number 2, a new system to deal with the economy, a new system based on technology. Number 4, a new system to deal with social issues. If you don't go along with the narrative, you're a bad person. Number 5, a new system to deal with the multipolar world. What kind of system is that? Well, basically, it's this global system that they're developing. All of these things you can support with the Bible. You look at the Bible, you go, wait a minute, Jesus talked about these things. The book of Revelation tells us these things were going to come. You can read about these in the Old Testament. You read about them in the New Testament. And this global system too, yes, or they call it a multipolar world. Well, check this out. The UN Agenda 2030, here it is. 15-minute cities are another globalist scheme to control, punish, surveil, and imprison you. By now, many of you have already heard about these 15-minute cities. We've been talking about them for the last couple of months, but they're coming. And what it is you can't leave more than 15 minutes from home. Control your travel. Control your travel in your vehicles, unless you're using mass transportation supplied by the government, right? control you from being able to go on planes, going to another, to travel outside of your country or something like that. Yeah, it's all coming. So just like that, these are 5 new systems that the World Economic Forum is going to be discussing, just some of them. These are just some of them that they're going to be discussing January 16 through 20, just coming up a week and a half, 2 weeks out. Really interesting, isn't it? As we see this global government come about. Man, we are so close to the second coming of Christ and all of the events of the tribulation period. But I believe the rapture is going to happen before the tribulation actually begins, the catching up of the believer to meet the Lord in the air. But when you put all of these things together, Israel being back in the land, and we recognize the words of Jesus from Luke chapter 21, when you see these things begin to take place, look up and lift up your head because your redemption draws near. This is just a reminder. Everything's happening exactly as the Bible said it would. So be encouraged. Lift up your head. I don't know how much longer we're here, but don't lose heart. Don't be afraid. They want you to be afraid. Listen, we have the answers. We have the Bible. Jesus is coming. God bless you guys. Look forward to seeing you. Listen, join me this Sunday evening. I'll be live with you back in the book of Micah, the Minor Prophets. God bless you all.